Welcome back to the frontier, where survival isn't just a goal, it's a daily battle against the odds. I'm your host, Red Monster, and today we're taking on one of the most punishing achievements this game has to offer, the Challenge Accepted achievement, requiring that you complete the Restoring the Peace scenario on challenging difficulty. The statistics don't lie. Less than 1% of players have managed to earn this achievement. Why? Because this isn't your typical settlement building experience. Here, the Baron doesn't just govern, he hunts and claims territories with aggression. Meanwhile, your villagers are more demanding, expecting greater food variety and finer goods at every level of development. And while the bandits pose an early threat, the raiding parties that threaten to ransack your settlements arrive more frequently. Today, we start with nothing but ambition and a handful of settlers determined to carve out not just a settlement, but a thriving stronghold in this unforgiving land. We'll need to master the delicate dance between economics and warfare, building prosperity while preparing for the next inevitable assault. The question isn't whether we can survive the first winter, it's whether we can grow strong enough to not just endure this hostile region, but to rise to the challenge this achievement is named for. Let's find out if we have what it takes to join the elite 1%. Our journey begins now. Welcome to another Manor Lords video series. In this series, we are going to chase down one of the most difficult achievements to capture. That is the Challenge Accepted achievement, which you have to beat Restoring the Peace scenario on the challenging difficulty preset. Now, I've tried this a couple of times on smaller maps and gotten completely wiped out. I've tried it on larger maps and had just a little bit of luck there. It is challenging. And I think you're going to need an optimal starting situation with your rich resources. And yeah, don't be afraid to go through, shuffle through a number of starting maps before you get into a game committed, because it's going to make a huge difference whether or not you're able to fight back the Baron to start. And the challenging preset, it's tough, right? You've got villagers that are very much very needy. The approval rating when you start upgrading, you need to be prepared well in advance of when those villagers start needing those resources. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go create a new game. We'll go with Redbeard here. And the scenario for challenging presets, Restoring the Peace on challenging. Let's just talk a little bit about what is going to drive this difficulty. First, the AI is going to be aggressive, is going to press claims against your regions at will. Compare that to reactive. They don't press claims towards the players, but will protect their own. Balanced, they may otherwise. Raider frequency is going to be medium, so no more than every 2 years. 2 raider free years, 1 initial bandit camp with 3 that can spawn. Spring starting season, standard starting supplies. The royal tax is going to be double. This is going to be tough, so we're going to need to make sure we have a good economic foundation to accomplish our goals. There is not going to be any armament delivery. The residential requirements are demanding. Food spoilage standard, medium penalty for approval. And weather events are going to be difficult. So droughts, thunder strikes, those are all going to be big problems for us. So the map I'm going to choose, I like the Winding River. It's been good. You could go with Dramatic Valley. I would definitely avoid High Peaks. The reason why is with High Peaks, only 4 regions available. The first couple of years, you're not going to have much of a militia to go with. And the Baron's going to just press his claims right over the top of you. And before the second year's over, you'll be completely wiped off the map. So I'm going to go with the Winding River. It's a map I've played a lot and have enjoyed. So let's go ahead and load in there. All right, welcome to our humble starting village. Let's go ahead and give pause, take a quick look at what resources we are dealing with. And we are starting off with a rich iron and a rich clay deposit. And you might be thinking, super lucky, great start. Yeah, absolutely. I've gone through and I have handpicked this map after rolling several options to get this exact combination to make this challenge happen. It is going to be a challenging mode, so I wanted to make sure we had a good economic foundation to generate regional wealth, to generate treasury funds, and then be able to help with our mercenaries, our retinue, everything else beyond that. So iron and clay are going to be my starting. I've also got stone, wild animals, and wild berries off in the corner here at Wildfeld. Looking next door, we've got Scat Spits, which has a shoal of fish. That's the only other rich deposit, so that's going to be fertile farmland. Under Dornley, we got animals, iron, clay, rich wildberry. So that's going to be another farm region. Rowallock, we see rich salt in the corner. I see a wild berry deposit in this corner. They also have a bandit camp already there. Okay. Towsonbrook in the center, they have a rich wild animal herd. They also have a stone deposit with a couple others in between. Some fish, looks pretty decent. Furdow, that's claimed by the Baron, they have a rich wild animal deposit and a rich stone. You know, I've struggled with this region. I don't know. It's just a weird shape and kind of a narrow area to work with. So, and then Kleinau up in the corner, another one of those weird shape, but they actually have a pretty good set. The same combination, clay and iron. So, we also see we got a trade point on both ends of Wildfeld to the west. And one that's just northeast, a little further away. So 3 pretty close trade points, and then we'll, of course, have additional trade points on the edge of the map. So, one thing I do want to plan for, looking at what the full development is going to look like. I like this little spur of the King's Road that comes in. I think it would make sense to continue that across and maybe develop down here and to the lower region of this kind of going to the topography mode, right? Yeah, kind of forms a natural basin at the bottom here. We could develop around that, maybe have some of our key features. I want to keep some of the trees, the natural tree cover that's in here, intact, since I want to try and incorporate that into my eventual city center. Now, we don't want to go master planning everything right off the bat, because if we do, these folks are never going to be settled. They're going to have homelessness for months. We might lose our resources, and I think that's going to be the key. We want to make sure they are set up initially for some success. One other area, occasionally, we do have emmer fertility, so it looks like a really good patch right there. If I'm plotting it out, let's just see, we have that entire area. 12 Morgans, you know, 9 of that is probably high fertility. There's a bunch of just the single positives. So we'll leave most of this region available for that. And I can tell right now, if I draw a line from about right here down, that will capture a lot of that high fertility area. And then we can cut across. So that, I do think we want to bridge across from the north and south roads. And bringing down along here. We'll keep as much of this positive fertility on the west side of the road as we're placing it. And we see we can kind of go through the tree line here. And then we want to leave some available space so that we can have a connector road that goes past both the iron deposit, clay deposit, and then into our city central region. So, I like going off of this corner here. As it curves around, we'll pull a spur off. We'll head this direction, kind of down through the trees. And looking across. And leaving enough space that we'll have a T intersection into the King's Road down here. And let's just adjust that curvature to make sure we have a good road set up. Don't want it to be too rigid. I think that's going to be great. Make sure the curvature is good. There we go. So that will become a nice thoroughfare between that we can develop off of. So a couple of priorities first. We want to put in a logging camp, and I'm going to have it on this side here. It's like too steep to build. It's a bummer. We'll uproot one tree before it gets too steep. Right about there. Okay. We'll also have a woodcutter's lodge that, no problem going in there. So set up that woodcutter's lodge. And we do also want to put in a hitching post. I'll put that just behind the woodcutter's lodge for now. We're going to set up priority on the hitching post as the highest. And then we also want to set up our logistics. So we have our storehouse. We're going to plug in right away. We're going to have our granary that we also plug in right next to. We're just keeping these close to our supplies so we can get those offloaded as quickly as possible. Eventually, we'll start developing a granary down by our food production. Speaking of food production, we need to put down... we'll start with the hunting camp right on the edge. Close enough that we don't cause migration, but far enough, far enough away. Yeah. There. And we'll put in a forager's hut. I'll probably go right next to without encroaching too closely. And then this leaves us the availability to put a second forager's hut on that same spur. Connect across. That gives us space to be able to, if we wanted to, expand a little more off this way. And we can also put a granary and a tannery in this region, so we can get those hides, turn them into leather, and make sure we get the food directly into a granary for both of those. We're going to have the forager's hut as our higher priority. And I think that's going to be good. We could start building. And while we're waiting for these villagers to get things done, we got a message about the victory condition. That's good. So we just want to dominate. And I like seeing this. We have our iron deposit. We have our clay deposit. And it would make sense to have kind of a branching road that comes down here, connects across to what would eventually become our main city development. I like having some of these natural trees. If we can preserve a lot of this in this region, I think that'd be great. Really breaks up the grid of our main settlement when we get to that. So I'm gonna do a couple things first. I know we're gonna have a road that's gonna kind of come along here. I'll do a bit of a crossbar, and we're gonna use that as just kind of a guide as we are setting up our roads to connect into. And we'll probably have a 90-degree, try and capture some of these trees in the center. So I'm kind of creating these bars that we'll use as connection points, because I'm going to draw multiple roads on top of each other and really try and get them to balance out. We can go from right here about, that's a great looking curve area, and if we pull that connection across, just make sure we curve a little bit more, give it a bit of a natural look, and yeah, it will shuffle up. I like the way that that's working. Okay. I'll go across the road here with another snapping point just to get a bit of an option. Same here. I want to thicken up the road just a smidge. That way I don't have to worry too much about the sure. Okay, put them right next to each other. Heard some mention of the buildings finished. So we've got two there. We have the hitching post ready to go. I'm going to order another ox. And then we'll start the road from here. Try and decide how to connect it in. So we could actually probably use a lot of this central area since it's free of trees. Good development point in the middle. But we want to make sure we bring that road close to our clay and iron deposit. So from here, we'll kind of, again, once doing a crossbar to kind of plan, bring it down the hillside, cut in through, I think about right here, we would tee, across to the left and to the right. So let's plan for that. We'll start about right here. Connect in, connect in. Okay. And we'll bring this back. Similar, just in kind of reverse order, keeping the same curvature so that it'll more or less balance out as we get the additional road width defined. And just doing this since there's not a default way to widen the roads. And this would make sense to be a pretty widely used thoroughfare. Go left and right a little bit. And of course we can plug a couple of roads in between. They do like to snap. And then we can remove some of these crossbars that we've developed. That just fit in properly. Thickening that up, getting rid of some of the divots in the road. It won't be perfect, but it will be, I think, a pretty nice visual aspect. Doing a few of these. Just drawing those roads. We've got a message here. This is from the Baron. This is your first time playing Restoring the Peace. You would, read through it. Sadly, their conversation doesn't have many options. So, got the letter sent. Let's go ahead and head back into our city planning. So, from here, I know we're going to want to connect back, tie in right there. And we'll probably do a direct angle here. I don't mind having a bit of setup. So keep the same curvature amount. I'm gonna bring this across. In through. Okay. Pulling that up one direction or other. Okay. Thickening that up. I'm going to keep this crossbar in place because we're going to have a bit of an angled section here as well. Bring that in here and here. And then reversing the process, seeing if that actually not reversing. We maintain, keep the good curvature on that side. Right. So just as you build those roads, let's see what's finished. We've got a livestock order placed for the hitching post. They're still working on our high priority. Make that storehouse and granary our highest. And just continue building some roads while they work on getting the initial setup for the village. Rather than wait through all that, speed up time just a smidge. Okay, third road going just like it needs to. We do the crossbars because that way the snapping converts over. We get a proper thickened road. And there we go. Now we'll go ahead and remove the crossbars from our guides. We'll keep this one in place because we do want to thicken the north-south road up. And we probably have an opportunity we can go a little bit thicker here. All the way in. And go. Drawing right over those to kind of get rid of some of the divots in the road. It's not perfect, but it also doesn't mess with your pathing, which is great. So, when we get our level 3 burgage plots on here, they will really thicken up these roads. I like doing kind of a corner here, rounding that out. You get a pretty high traffic area, and you'll see that type of thing happen. Okay. Great looking T intersection there, and this would be a great central area for our town. Let's see, process-wise, they're moving. Got the storehouse just about ready, and the granary also just about ready. Watch as they finish these up. Okay, storehouse is done. One person in there. I'll start pulling these supplies, right? We want to get any of the firewood, stone, and tools locked in. I like having, we'll have our mines on the one side of the road. We'll put other, like kind of the bloomeries for the iron deposit, and then the clay furnaces on the other side. Hunting camp is finished. Let's go ahead and get one person in the hunting camp, one person in the forager's hut. I'm going to set my priority here. We're at 20 animals. Go down to 10. That's all right. We did get, yeah, we got most of our materials stored. We got rain already. April, 1 month in. Okay. So, our supplies are in. We're going to pull people out of the storehouses now, since they've got the material stored. And we're going to let this build up until we have... I'm going to go for 12 timber, and we just want to bring in some surplus fuel as we start building our first burgage plots. So, 12 timber to get 6 burgage plots prioritized. Everyone's assigned right now. They'll be happy. Let's get our crossroad figured. And right about there, we'll keep the same more or less pattern as we go. Bring that's a nice long straightaway there. Picking it up a little bit more, but overall good process. And right there. On the inside for this one. Try and get that gap filled. And we have the ruler's army. The Baron is out there trying to do his thing. Alright. As far as the thickness of this road, I like where it's at. I will probably go right along here and try and curve that out. Get a little fat on that side. Just draw another out on the outside to try and appease that a bit. And then on the inside here, bring those around, and then we'll move those crossbars. We have enough going on. The forager's hut is full. That's fine. And we're just about ready to start building some of our residences up at this area. But overall, good overall city structure. We'll have some developments in the center here. We'll expand that over this direction too. I think we might even bring this down into the pit, because we need to get some central services done. Okay. I see we got 39 fuel. That'll be great. Up to 40. And I'm going to pull one person off of the woodcutter's lodge and one person off of the logging camp. And let's see, our wild animals, we can pull you out of that. Our wild berries, they're in the growing season, and it makes sense we could commit a second person to it to be able to harvest those. We got 10 months of food, and that'll just keep going up for us, so no concerns there. For here, I do think we're going to be probably bringing in a little bit thicker road on the one side. Try to avoid that snapping. Right at the edge. Perfect. And a few additional nodes than normal. But, yeah. Nice two-way road as we get in here, and I think it would taper off as we got back this direction. Probably aligning a little bit on that curve as it gets into the woods. And we can work on expanding that later on. Let's get set up for our first burgage plots in this area. So we know we're going to have iron working. We're going to have some other industry that will probably push this direction. And if we don't want to demolish our first homes, which would be a bit of a waste, I think it would make sense to have them start on this road. Probably not facing this way. We want to have them facing here. We'll have some additional options. Now, I do also like to run a burgage plot that's, I do this keyhole plot. It's enough for, that's just not quite what we need for backyard extension each. Right at the edge there. That's perfect. We got two right there. I'll probably do a third. Okay. And we'll have snapping from that corner in about the same depth. That's enough for a double wide plot. That'll be our first keyhole with a backyard vegetable garden. Plug these away. Get our first villagers set up there. I'm going to do a road that kind of crosses here. Too close. Okay. And we're going to go back a little bit and curve in towards this main road. Great. And then as we get up here, it'll hook back in. Moving back like that. We'll let that be kind of some of our thickener. Okay. And now I'm going to set up a burgage plot right in the center. We're going to lose that tree, which we're going to be okay with. So it's snapping from one corner to the other. We're going to just use that, using that guide road to force the snapping as much as we want. And there, we've got a nice backyard extension that can be used for vegetable garden. A lot of space. They won't be able to utilize it fully, but with two families, able to work that, and eventually those two families will move into level 3 burgage plot. So we'll upgrade up to 4. It's a good use of space to get a vegetable garden going, and should be just fine. I'm gonna pull from here, redo this road because it does have a little bit of extra. And I'll re-sign that. And some thickening process there. Grab that little hook at the end that's driving things. Okay, cool. So that'll be our first 5 and 6 burgage plots. Still have one person working. Still have one person working the logging camp, which is great. Our hitching post, that's about as much regional wealth as we want to commit. And in the meantime, go ahead and draw some crossbars here as we get prepared to widen up these roads. And we have up to about right here. So just doing this to force the snapping into kind of a mid-range. Build up to there. I'll get another road in the cross here. Decent. And nice and thickened up. To go over the crossbars, and now we have a couple of nice thick corners where folks can manage. We'll get a little bit more up here. Here to about there. Carry that on. Good. So, result, we've got some good natural looking high traffic areas that we will be able to use throughout the future development of the settlement. Okay. Getting our burgage plots loaded in. And the priority here is going to be getting that vegetable garden committed right off the bat. Beautiful little settlement. So they'll get that plugged in. We'll get the additional living space expanded into, and the others, they will have the opportunity to get some backyard plots as well. We may commit to a couple of vegetable gardens early on, just to make sure we're maximizing our use here, but that might look a little further down this way, or potentially expanding over this area where we won't have to worry about the iron deposit. Okay. So there we go. 5 burgage plots, all constructed. We have 2 available people that we can reassign back to stuff. And the thing I'm going to get going first, I'm going to commit to the granary. Okay, we see our wild animals at 11 to 20. Our berries are growing. We got 2 people assigned there. We have 7 months of fuel, 10 months of food. So I'm going to set the fuel as our priority here. We have available living space for people to move into. We need to have a little bit of a marketplace that they'll be able to trade goods. Okay. And we're going to need to have some additional areas. We're going to do a very small marketplace. 15 right there at the edge. I want to also prioritize my work area here, being the emmer fertility. We want that to be the primary focus. We're going to keep some of the trees along the roadway if we can. Just since there's not a great way to configure, you know, a more natural looking tree cover in certain areas, so go about that region, not too far into the wild animal deposit. And let's look at where we are assigning. We can build up a surplus of timber. We got 7 right now. I'll actually take 1 person out. The first thing we're going to need is a church, and that's going to require 20 planks. That's going to be 4 of our timber and 5 logs. So let's get a saw pit constructed. And I'll do that over here, probably. Yeah. I don't want to encroach on our mining area, necessarily. So yeah, we'll get the saw pit going. Our woodcutter's lodge, we got 7 months of fuel, so we're okay. So our villagers are not quite thrilled with us. Got a little bit more surplus. Homelessness is done. Okay, we got a food stall that they're working with the food variety. Okay, saw pit's under construction. Okay, and I'm going to take person out of the woodcutter's lodge and put them into the saw pit. I'm going to say a production limit of planks. We're going to go up to just, let's call it, if we also wanted to put in tannery, that takes 6 planks. So 26 production limit. People are assigning there. I'm going to put the next person in the storehouse. So they'll be able to start managing a little bit of prairie. Actually, I'll pull them out of the storehouse. We'll be alright. Watch that. There's There's a firewood stall. It's not manned. We still need more planks to be able to match our saw pit needs. So balance that out. See their crafting. Keep an eye on it. And we know in our small village, we got a development point to spend. So we talk about development. We can do charcoal burning up to the deep mining. Deep mining is an absolute priority. So we can upgrade to a deep mine that can extend that deposit indefinitely. We also have trade, which might be useful. So 2 points there. We're going to have a maximum of 6. I don't want to commit to armor making because I think we can import a lot of the stuff we need for our armaments with the militia. So that's helmets, chainmail, gambesons. I do think sheep breeding is going to be a priority. Orchardry is going to be a priority. So with the 2 committed on the deep mine, 3, 4, we then have an option. We can do an apiary for beekeeping. We can also do rye cultivation. We don't have the funds right now to put in an apple orchard. It's 50 regional wealth. So as we get a little bit further on, we'll do that. We also don't have the funds to bring in sheep yet. So those are going to be a waste at this early stage. An apiary might be okay, but we have to commit somebody there, and the food production doesn't scale very well. I think the priority we're going to want is our charcoal burning, since we're going to be committed to that anyways. Got to make our fuel supply extend pretty healthily. So we see we got timber being produced. We're going up to 20 planks now. And we got a few additional to make sure we got some construction going on there. And 30, I'll pull you out and move you into our storehouse. So now we get our wooden church. Need 5 planks there. And the tannery. We're doing this because some of the things that are going to affect our approval rating are the church level. Not having clothing materials. That level 1 clothing is going to be leather goods. So we need to get the tannery in and running. And then fuel at the marketplace. We want to make sure we have somebody there that can operate the fuel booth to keep folks happy. So here we have the tannery. We'll go right up 2 trees taken apart. We see the berries are seasonal, but we have 10 months of food. The animals are going up. The forger's hut, we're just about full. Yeah, we saw stocks were damaged there, so we capture as best we can. I want to pull 1 person off the forager's hut and let them build that tannery. That is the highest priority, and with a couple more planks, we'll be able to get the church going. Now this is going to be a little on the further side, I think. Yeah, having it right with the trees behind it makes sense. We can turn off snapping and really fine-tune the positioning of the church. As long as we're not uprooting trees, we can keep a lot of that in the back there. That would be a great scenic view within our central area. So we need 2 more timber. And those will help our positive approval ratings quite significantly. We could also maybe put the church back here. I like the idea of having it kind of on a corner with the trees around. It was a nice natural tie-in. And leaves this area available if we want to have residences and stuff that'll benefit from it. Okay. 4 additional planks available. So if we look at that, what do we have? We can do a chicken coop for 2 planks, 15. We could also do an animal pen, but we don't have enough to afford the animals. We see our positive factors: market food variety, the church level, clothing variety are negatives. But with the folks that are working there, we should start to see positive improvements. The other factor, which I have not even considered, is a well. We can bring in a well as part of our little settlement here. Right at the edge, not quite enough. We can put it on the back. I mean, might make sense. I would think I struggle to put it right between the two, but I think that's enough space between the mines that we should be alright. Keep it on that main road. Okay, and we are going to commit a chicken coop here. Just to get the variety, that's the last of our regional wealth spent, but that'll help with a little bit more food variety. Neutral on our approval ratings. What do we see? New mercenary companies available. Okay. All good things going. We've got people working the marketplaces to keep folks happy. Okay. 45. Now we're going to go all in on our construction activities. 2 people running those. We need the well. Then we'll commit over for the next month. We got enough. We can do some other construction. Our berries were seasonal, so those are depleting. Bring you down. Put you on the wild animal for now. We're at 7 months of fuel, 10 months of food. Pretty solid. Yeah, as these upgrade to level 3 burgage plots, they're going to look great along here. Nice thick road that leads down into the church. Will eventually become probably some really good settlement area. We've got the tannery that's finished. We'll put a family member there. Okay. Travel in and out. Good. And the church is our highest priority, making sure we get that resource set up. Let's just watch as the church gets built, since that's going to be a big priority for us. See, the bandit camp was sighted. The Baron is working his way through that. That's fine. A little bit of travel for that.
Oh, this is heavier than it looks.
See, with the church being built, we're at 46%. Some positives, some negatives. Already? How many vegetables are being sown? Family's hard at work, doing their thing. And that just, it fits so nicely. I'm a big fan of that. You see these keyhole plots, you know, in the past, what might happen is somebody has a large plot with a single family and they build kind of the farm on a corner or in the center. As they age and have family members that want to move in and kind of help share and work the land, they'll parcel off the road-facing plots and maybe build themselves a new house in the middle and kind of manage all that. But yeah, keeping the farm in the back. You see this like in modern cities where you'll have an orchard behind a couple of houses in the middle of the city. That's why somebody had an orchard, sold off some of the road-facing land, and kept that orchard behind as much as they could. So, 39%. Still waiting on stone to be transported. See, our hides are being converted to leather. We see a positive approval rating now, so we got good food variety, we got good clothing variety. The church level is missing, but at a +8, +9, and a -2. We'll be in good shape. Okay, Towsonbrook is being claimed by the Baron, so that's the central area here. You know, we'll be okay with it. Hopefully, Scatspits will be his last resort. If we are able to start taking care of bandits out of Scatspits, that would be wonderful. We got a bandit camp here, we got a bandit camp here. Doesn't look like he is claiming, or at least ransacking the stuff yet. Okay. So we'll let him claim. That's part of the challenging mode, is that he's just going to be pretty aggressive with it. Okay. church being built. Oh, bandits have stolen our leather. Those jerks. Okay. We're at 49%, so the church level is the only negative factor for the month. Hopefully by November, we'll have that ready to go. So don't be afraid to micromanage the first year. You definitely want to be adding and removing people from buildings pretty regularly to keep things managed. Gotta wear a lot of different hats when there's only 5 villagers to help run things. Okay, the wooden church is finished. You, family, are going to go into the woodcutter's lodge to sort out our biggest priority, which is 6 months of fuel. See, wild berries. The animals are now just about done. Tannery, we don't have much work to do. Really unfortunate the bandits getting that process. Our berries, we want to collect the rest of them, but with 10 months of food, we'll have the springtime to work through that. Okay, November 1st. Oh, just outside of that, we had 9 and 8 on our previous months, so just a -1. Moving in December, looks like. Lucky souls. While we're doing that, let's go ahead. We're going to plan where the next burgage plot's going to go in. And I think that's going to be down this direction. And we have a roadway right here. I will continue this across and down. Okay. I'll get this corner here, curving it properly. And we'll do a couple of burgage plots in this direction. Just deep enough to get the backyard plot. That's a little bit too deep, and you gotta sometimes just adjust the snapping. Alright, so that point is too narrow. That looks like it's gonna be great. And right about there, we can reduce the number of plots and get those spread out. We don't have enough goods. So that'll be... yeah. Turn snapping back on. We have right here is the center. Yeah, that'll be perfect. I'll bring here. Again, the problem is the snapping isn't right at the edge of where we would want. 2 burgage plots. We could do a single here instead. That's about right. We'll do 3. Okay. Those snapping points. And I'm kind of running a bit. We'll go a little deeper on that, just to maybe help force the plot in. And I'll commit that right now, and then we'll build our keyhole with the vegetable garden back here. Set that as the priority, and we'll demolish these so we don't get extra residences we don't need yet. But, you know, a vegetable garden right here with some of the other foraging, and we can put in a granary to help that out. Okay. December 1st. Our positives, 53. 1 available living space. And we've got a new family member moving in. So EA. People that are able to do some work for us. So the priority is going to be, of course, getting that burgage plot built. And we'll let them build the next one if they would like to. So a double plot there. I'll be alright. Plenty of available space. Set that as a lower priority. And here. Preparing for eventually we don't have enough to do that. Leave it open. We got a forager's hut. We have 6 hides, 2 leather. The animals are being processed. get somebody in the logging camp. There's Lodge. Just micromanaging here. Let's see, we get one more person, one more animal out of there. But growth by the end of the first year is excellent. That's good. Let's see, 10. We got a carcass that's being transitioned. Pull you out, then let the tannery focus on converting the rest. Want that construction done by the end of the year. Looks like we should be fine. Okay. So, the available living space, we're going to go ahead and reassign some folks into the rest of the work. We're going to start building up a surplus of timber, firewood, make sure we can expand when we need to. And with the new family member that moves in here, should be January, they will build this burgage plot. Then we'll expand each. '30th. And January 1st. Hey. So, I'm going to give you... Oh, we don't have a vegetable garden available yet. But we're going to give you the extended space there that you need. They'll work construction, and eventually these families will be doing our wild berries, the hunting camp, and then the tannery. So, 4 families assigned should be perfect. The rest, cranking along. 61% positive approval rating. Next step would be the manor, and well, I think the manor might actually make sense to have in this region. Nice and tree-lined area that we can keep more or less protected and preserving a lot of this natural tree area. That manor, though, has some specific requirements. Yeah, we're going to need 20 planks, 15 stone. Okay. Ooh, got a new family moved in. Okay. Want available living space.
Gotta smooth that beam over there.
Let them run things. Wild animals are increasing. Okay, so that's great. We have 2 available living spaces, which will be fantastic. I'm going to put you... If I look at the folks here, who's assigned and not, I'm going to put you on the hunting camp. Since you'll be working the vegetable gardens, that'll be fine. Talk about the manor. We also want to talk about trade. We have a trading post. It's going to be 4. And if I put the trading post right here on the edge, okay, if I go more or less kind of in that corner, where are we looking? Turn off snapping. If I can, we don't want to uproot all the trees. But keeping a nice region there. Let's go ahead. One thing I like to do is I'm going to put in a shrine right along the roadway. And then we're going to set up a quick crossroads here that borders the shrine. Makes a nice little traffic area. Thickens that in. That's going to look great. And we'll build in our trade post right on that road. On snap to road. On or off? Okay. Something like that. Hey, cool. A new bandit camp was sighted. So I have to monitor for that. Baron's gonna just go crazy. Alright, we got a new message. So we got raiders that are 1 year away. We're going to track their movement with our manor and some of our materials going here. Let's see what we need. That stone as well. We need a couple of planks. So we're going to put somebody in the saw pit. I'm going to set a reserve. Okay. We have 29 timber. So I want to make sure we don't go below 20 timber. Our construction options available. And we'll call this 60 planks. We're going to be going through them with some of the advanced buildings we're going through. But trade post, we can probably do iron or clay deposits to export. And getting some regional wealth to hire some mercenaries, maybe do some trade on our own. Where are those bandits at? 1 and 2. And oh, these guys are right on our back porch. If only we had some militia guys that I could assign. It's a tough one. Go for some planks. Got the saw pit going. Who's here? Transporting, waiting, and praying. Okay. Alright. We're meeting all of their needs. We're not going to have to worry about expansion too much. We do have an available living space to be expanded into. And I'm going to commit some additional burgage plots over here. Make sure our food production is going to be processing and running smoothly. Eventually they'll get all those processed. Okay. Burgage plot level 1. Pantry is full. Yep. They're getting vegetables. Looking great.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun.
10 months of food, 15 months of fuel. As far as our food, we got meat, vegetables, berries. We don't have enough eggs yet, so we'll need to generate regional wealth for that. And yeah, we don't want to upgrade. Even though it's going to start generating regional wealth, those folks are going to be unhappy. I'm going to have to manage that. So, let's see, 12 planks. Stonecutter camp. We'll put that out this direction. Oh, Skatspitz is being claimed. What a bummer. Alright. We will have a stonecutter camp available. I'll just tie this into the road there. And the first of our mining pits. We can go there, as well as a second. So, we can connect on this road. That'll be good. Leaves enough space to be able to get a second. Maybe have a roadway in between before it gets too crazy. The bandits stole some of our tools. Those rascals. Okay, and we're gonna go just right to the edge of where it says no deposit in range. Place 1. We're gonna lose a couple of trees there. But, yeah, I mean, we could go here. Save some of the trees. It would just be a row behind. And not enough goods, but we got space there. So that would work properly. And a line right down. Connect there. We'll have this here. Okay. How are we looking? Okay, burgage plot level 1. Construction is finished. So, up into May. We'll have some available. Oh. And we want to make sure we get people on the forager's hut. The wild animals are being processed. So plenty of options there. Food at 10 months, fuel at 16. Pull you off of the woodcutter's lodge and put you onto timber. And meanwhile, we'll relocate the hitching post here. Doesn't quite want to snap in that corner. Let's get rid of this road. See if we can force that. Quite strange. It'll snap about there. Okay, the mining pit is finished. I have one available person. I'm going to go assign you into that mining pit. The trade post. Now, let's see. We have berries that are kind of a seasonal export. We can export those for 3. We have iron ore, which only exports for 3. I think probably exporting the berries and keeping the iron ore for future exports, making sure we get a blacksmith that can work some of our processes. That'd probably be our best option. Clay only exports for 1, and if we needed to, clay we could export as roof tiles, but that's going to take us. That'll be our first export really. Once we need to start generating a lot of wealth. We have 305 days left. And we have 1 available living space, 1 under construction, it's out here. That'll be our food production. We can come over this direction. Let's see, we'll pull 1 person out and let them run trade. At 12 months of food, I think we'll be alright. We're going to have vegetables, we're going to have berries. We can do trade on all of those. So we'll export vegetables and berries. And we're going to want an excess, we'll call it a surplus of 40 of each. So we'll be able to export those. Actually, with the vegetables, we'll keep those. Those will hold off for a while. The berries, those, yeah. Get about, what, 33? 100 regional wealth. Be able to get some additional vegetables after that. Okay, that family moving in for our burgage plot here in May. 302 days left, which is fine. Continue some roadways. All right, we have this one here. And if we bring this back across, I like the idea of it kind of connecting across here. And then we can have some industry back behind. Got 1 person working the iron pit. Okay. So we'll have some of our storage, some of our other stuff in between here. I'll put some artisans along this road. Go through, set up a burgage plot. Just not quite deep enough there. That's perfect. And these will get our first level 2 upgrades. We'll get our artisan plots there. Is that enough for a double wide? Almost. Just right at the edge. So I'm going to set snapping here. Turn off snapping, where you can see the snapping points where they're at. I'll set. Yeah, that's perfect. Snapping back on. We'll commit that, and then we'll do a couple more on this side. Just deep enough to bring that in. And then demolish here. Get the additional. We're looking at 82% approval rating, so we need to get our burgage plots in quickly. And we got our road there. We're going to bring this road up and across. And yeah, we could tie it just like that. Maybe bring the curvature down just a smidge. And see if that's going to be enough to really get our snapping built around here. Alright, we see good snap in the corner of both. Wonderful. Another vegetable garden going in just right there, and these will be a great spot. Okay, we have 45 regional wealth. Means we can commit a vegetable garden here. Down to 30. I'll say I want these folks to have a chicken coop available. We got some burgage plots. Set that as the highest priority. Our people here, they're being set up. We got unassigned folks. We got 12 out of 20 for the animals. We'll put you on the animal hut. And I'm going to take people off the tannery. We got enough leather. We'll assign as they start getting more folks involved. Okay, highest priority here. To keep our food coming. Fuel at 18 months, we're doing alright. Stonecutter camp for the manor will allow us some activity. We're going to preserve the last 15 resources. And I will bring this road. I'll continue it down this way, more or less parallel to, and then we'll tie it in as a nice 90-degree. We'll get some vegetable gardens on there, have some outer expansion we go through. We got our mine up and running for the mining pit. Probably also going to want to get some additional oxen. Oh my goodness. Bandits have stolen our iron ore. That is rough. We're going to really have to take care of them. Okay, but better revenue. Manage chicken coop. We'll put another chicken coop there. One here. Actually, this level 1 burgage plot, we're going to upgrade to level 2, and that's going to turn into our blacksmith. We'll need to get a bloomery set up. Set them right along there. Put another one just behind. That's a lot of planks to commit, but we'll go for it. We can have a bloomery section in between. I see a road. I'll set these as lowest priority, very low. Have the available living space. So here we are, July 1st. We should have the family move in. Wonderful. They'll get a vegetable garden. Start working that. And we'll get an expanded living space with some additional burgage plots ready to go. Okay. With the available space we've got now, down to 10 months of fuel. With the Woodcutter's Lodge to work. One additional one additional person to go. They'll get the bloomery done. Build that road out a little bit larger. Okay, level 2, and you are going to become our blacksmith. So we'll get tools. We'll get some other activities going. And we'll wait for the other single plots that'll run along here. Overall, 80% approval rating. Doing really well. The marketplace, we're a little undersupplied. Bump that up to 5. And we need this bloomery going as our top priority. So let's pull people out of the saw pit for now. We've got enough planks going. Okay. Go on the advanced, and we want these guys producing. We'll start with spears, and then we'll get the next upgrade we do. Oh man, I did commit a chicken coop here. I can upgrade to level 2 and convert these guys over to being a joiner, and that will start a militia. So we'll have our shields going. And we got a bloomery going. So we'll convert that iron ore into iron slab. We need a lot of planks, which we have some of. So that's good. But as soon as this one's done, I'm going to make that chicken coop into a into the joinery shop. Okay. All right, Wildfield, settlement level increased. So I know I'm going to start getting into trade as we begin exporting. I'm going to set up for reduced trade costs. I think that's probably the best route we could go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. We're probably going to skip on the rye cultivation since we want to be a trade-focused economy. We got trade routes we'll be trying to afford. That'll be great. And we're level 2 burgage plots. And here, this is going to go to the joiner's workshop to get us large shields, and we should be able to prepare our own militia for some of that activity. Okay. Fuel at 8 months, so we'll need to watch that. And I do like the idea of having this area up here be kind of a fuel depot. Oh, those bandits are stealing our tools. Yeah, well, the good news is we have a blacksmith that can generate some tools, and that will get some exports, but that is going to have to wait. We got 4 available living spaces now. That is awesome. Okay. You're going to get a chicken coop. You guys will also get chicken coops everywhere, even though it's not settled yet. Get us some passive income with eggs. They'll help out a lot. Okay. We have 2 available people. How are we looking on iron ore and iron slabs? They're producing spears. Joiner's shop. Ooh, yeah. We don't want small shields, we want large shields. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to form a militia. Spear militia. And we might as well have footmen. So once we get a number of spears, we have 30 out of 36. We're going to focus them all on that. Okay. Good to go. A bandit camp was sighted. That's unfortunate. There's only 2 regions not claimed by the Baron right now. And I gotta say, he has been just leaving these out in the open. I think we're gonna go try and ransack some of these towns. I don't know why the Baron isn't claiming them. But as soon as we get people with those resources, we're down to 22 planks, so we need to get somebody on the saw pit. Decent process for everything else. Okay. 2 available living spaces now. We see we're probably going to keep 1 more vegetable garden. We bring it about right here. Okay. Yeah, and that works great. It'll tie right into the church on that road. We'll have a kind of a front road here. And let's get some burgage plots available in this space. So how much? We can get 5. Okay, go from either side. And we'll just commit right here. If I build, and then I'm going to pause this, demolish. It's the smallest of our vegetable garden plots, but a single width should still be fine. We see the keyhole going in just perfectly. So that is our highest priority. And with the 78% positive approval rating, we're getting 2 new families per month. Let's go. And we got 8 in our militia. Let's rally these guys at the edge of the map, and we're going to go ransack this camp. That should have already been taken care of. The Baron has not been very careful about... Oh, and we've got... we can disband right now. They're coming after us, so we're going to wait till we get a couple more people. For some reason, the Baron hasn't taken care of them. And what do you know? Okay. We draw their attention. Unfortunate. I think we're going to rally them right here. Set them on standing their ground. our 10 versus their 18. We have, you know, in our home region, our power balance and all. Okay. Keeping very defensive, 10 versus 18. We're a little bit outmatched. I thought for sure maybe that had been taken care of already. He just claimed it and let them live where they were at. Okay, 10 versus 17. Okay. I got a little greedy. 10 to 16. Okay. 15. We're doing okay. We've lost one. 9 to 13. 9 to 12. Even power balance. 9 to 10. We're more heavily armored. That does cost us a little bit, but 9 to 9. Wonderful. We're balanced. We're ahead. It's a 6-5. Just, yeah, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and let's ransack that camp. And we do have some dead folks. We're going to put somebody in the church to bury those bodies. Which is going to be our priority here. Okay. Regional wealth. We need 20 or 30 for a horse. Okay, our trade post is doing just fine. Okay. Good to go. Nice crossroad with the shrine there. That just looks beautiful, right? Welcome into town. Okay, still producing. We've got, yeah, new family members joining. There's a new message. The spoils of war. So I could send it to the nearest town, which might need it, or I could send it to my treasury, where I can definitely use it. I'm going to use it in the treasury. That's 208 regional wealth, or 208 treasury we'll be able to use for mercenaries. We'll bring these guys back across the border, and we can disband them. And now we have 10 large shields, 17 spears. We're just going to continue to increase, but we should be able to hold at the raiders. And if there are any bandits here in Ander Dornley, we can actually go on a bandit hunting spree and work through that. Let's process that as best we can. Okay. So we have 208 treasury. Towsenbrook, Rollock. Rollock, the Battle Brothers, Spearmen, and Infantry. That'd be great. These are just archers, so we don't want to do the Wayward Sons. And the local thugs. They're cheap, but not very effective. We'll go with Rollock for the Battle Brothers. Infantry and Spearmen. And that's going to be a great investment. We'll get a lot of reputation gain. And they're going to start right at the edge of the map where we can go attack them. I'm going to do Control 0 for my mercenary groups. You guys are going to run. You're hired to go quickly deal with bandits. And part of being quick is you got to run. Got 144 days until the raiders arrive. We'll still have plenty. We can have these guys for 3 or 4 months before we run out of funds. And we are also... Oof. Bandits are stealing stuff. We're going to move this to our treasury. Okay. Nobody was there. He didn't ransack it. You see what? They stole our hides. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Get over here. I know there are brigands that we could fight. New settlers moving in. So we currently have 4 unassigned families. Before we get into this, let's just see where we can get the assignments done. And we'll come back and manage. Okay, so I'm going to pull people off here. I'm going to pull people off here. All right, the seasonal berries are done. Okay. Miner and smelter? No, you're going to be our forager. You're going to be our hunter. Going to have you as our tannery, and another person here as our second forager. Okay. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's probably great for where we're doing here. Logistics, if I put in a granary which requires stone, I can have 2 people, 2 families working that granary, which would be great. I've got now 5 unassigned. We got a chicken coop. Not enough regional wealth. We're just managing a few things as we go. So mining and smelting have not been taken care of. What are you doing? You're a woodcutter. That makes sense. You are a firewood cutter. Okay, so logger, woodcutter, those make sense. You, woodcutter, granary worker. I like having them be granary and storehouse. I think that would make the most sense. We'll get you granary, you a storehouse, and we'll just have those locked in. What are you doing? Joiner? Alright, you're working, you're working. You... Gravedigger? No, we're gonna have you dig holes. Dig different holes. You are gonna be our bloomery worker. We have people here. You're gonna be our miner. And you're going to be carpenter. I'll select and actually have you run. You'll be the trader. For now. Okay, you're unassigned. How are we looking? We've got iron ore, not enough iron slabs to keep up. Actually, rather than the trader here, you're gonna work the saw pit. You'll have some extra time. Okay. You'll be in charge of trade. You will be currently unassigned. You'll be on the bloomery. I have you unassigned. We'll have you in the mining pit. We have this. Need a little bit more regional wealth for the vegetables. But overall, looking good. We have 13 now on our own. So, and with 2 unassigned working construction jobs, that should be alright. I'm going to keep these areas. There might be a little weird vegetable garden that runs on this back road. But, yeah. So we expand in. That's great. We got the core things we need. Next up might be like a bowyer shop or something, but realistically, we'll get the clay deposit going. We'll have clay furnaces along the back. We'll have bloomeries on the front. And try and preserve as much of this tree cover here as possible. And get some other supplies going. We have 1 person we need to assign Stonecutter Camp, and that's going to open up for our manor. That will be the goal to complete phase 1 of this event. So let's go deal with combat. While we manage that, we should see the stone produced, and honestly, we'll go attack them. Manage with that. 20 days left. Already crushing folks. And because the Baron hasn't deployed his armies, I actually kind of lucked out. So let's go ahead. We're going to have you go to the bandit camp. Our regional wealth there is only 4. We got 297 treasury. I think... Alright, 720 influence. Get 1 more. Okay, so that's going to go to my treasury as well. So we're at 455. we could very quickly settle the next region. So let's bring you guys down. Whichever region we'd like to start settling. Claim, and then expand into... I'd like to keep at least 500 treasury to manage that, and we're 128 days away from when the raiders attack. I'll wait until after the raiders have been dealt with. Oh, and there are bodies that need burial back there.
Yes, sire.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Assign that to my treasury as well. We got 617. That means we can afford 1 or 2 months of bandits, or of mercenaries, to defend against raiders, as well as 500 credits, 500 treasury, that we can send a little bit more aggressive starting deal. And just confirming, we have... The entire map is cleaned up, so we're good there. Rowlock would be wild berries, salt deposit. Yeah. Part of our problem, we don't have enough influence right now to claim anything. We've got enough treasury, but we can't claim one of these regions yet. Okay. Come back, and we'll thank our battle brothers. They have 7 days left on their contract, but we're going to go ahead and disband them now that we've claimed everything we need to. And let's get our stone. Okay. Okay, new families moving in. Where did they get to? You are going to be some of our traders. And let's see what we have at the trading post to deal with. We have the excess. So berries, we got a good excess. I'm going to hold on to the vegetables. We have iron ore, iron slabs. We're going to keep those. Plenty of firewood. Honestly, if we go in here on commodities, tools is a major trade. I need 30 gold to be able to do that, but tools is a good one. We could also, once we're done producing, we can send off iron parts, and that's a very fantastic export. So, let's see. We have iron ore, iron slabs being produced. Our own, we're at 20 out of 36 spears, 19 out of 36 large shields. So, things have slowed down, kind of balanced out. We're at 19 out of 36. We have enough people that we could start something additional. So we'll keep an eye on that. We have 10 leather. I wish we had more of that. 4. Okay, fuel is only 4 months. Let's go ahead and get somebody assigned there. We have iron slabs, iron ore being produced. I'm gonna leave this area kind of as they manage themselves. And people are gonna be a little bit short on variety. Food, marketplace stuff. We see most of the Emmer region is done. We'll go on the Woodcutter's Lodge. Confirm where we're going with that. Just a little further out that direction. That's fine. The logging camp, do the same. I'll try and keep that edge more or less clear. Okay. And maintain these trees. I like that. Okay. New families moving into the burgage plots. We got 2 available living spaces. Is that... Ooh, they're going everywhere but the vegetable garden. I want to commit that vegetable garden, though. I know that's one thing we're going to need. And 4 months of fuel. One aspect I would like to work on now is logging, kind of sustainable logging production area, and I think it would make sense to have over here. Alright, if we take this road and just continue it up and around. Make sure we get a nice curvature to it. Okay. Wonderful. And first priority is going to be this woodcutter's lodge. Let that happen. We're going to go logging roads back into the woods. Spread those out. We'll do another one this way. A couple of branches. Maybe that pull things more or less in. We also are going to set, we're going to get some additional oxen. 1 and 2. Right along the roadway here. Let's see, we got 3 stone. 15 stone needed for the manor. I did want to have the manor over this direction. What do we see? We got a couple of roads here that would make sense if we connect just across here. We've already got that kind of built. But having the manor maybe on a protected crossroad here. Bring this on the inside. That would be more or less the main gate to the manor. Okay. And we'll wait to see where I want to place things. I do want to have kind of maybe this region. I'll have a couple of gates on the side that feed in. A little U-shaped deal. Okay, 1 available living space going. I'm going to build my next burgage plots over this way. We're going to have a logging encampment that they are going to process right next to their homes, basically, all of that timber. And we'll put you guys right along the roadway. More or less. Okay, we'll demolish this one. We'll have 3 people start. They'll just come back and forth in here. They'll have a storehouse dedicated there. I also think a storehouse would make sense to be right here. See, just 1 tree uprooted for construction. That will be our ongoing kind of large scale. So when these bloomeries and stuff get cranking up to speed. We'll prioritize a few there. So we got some options. So there, that's... Alright, we're going to have some odd shapes. I think we can tighten it back into 4. Is that enough? We could go there? Oh, just barely. There's a couple. We don't want to stunt our growth by going too wide right now. Go right there. That 4, 3. I'll go from here. From this corner in. Right across from the church, that's okay. I think that's about as good as we can manage. Having another vegetable plot, double size there, breaks things up. And we'll start expanding into our central region. We should have, we've got clay being produced. We've got iron slabs being produced. We're keeping up there. Got 38 regional wealth. The blacksmith is going great on the weaponry. We're at 32 and 31. Pretty well balanced. We're going to pull... We don't have anybody on the church right now. One more person in the logging camp. 8 and 62. And we can actually assign a smithy if we wanted to have somebody doing tools that we could flex in and out. So a smithy might be a good option. Maybe on the back corner here, or we'll put it on the road face. One tree uprooted. No trees there. Okay. Keep a lot of that intact. New hitching post. Let's go ahead and get another ox. One person off the woodcutter's lodge. Put them into the logging camp. Actually, food 8 months, fuel 4 months. Let's get more people on the woodcutter's lodge. Okay. Construction priority confusion here. So we'll wait to do anything else drastic. We got 35 stone. And this is the point we also want to bring in the manor. And looking at kind of the direction the light's hitting, where the manor would want to be, kind of on the sunlit side. And yeah, right by the trees. That's going to be beautiful. That makes sense with the positioning there. Okay. Yeah, I like that. What else do we have? We can do the garrison tower, which will kind of be our training ground. We can do the garrison tower right about there. Do we have tax office? It's just for timber. Plug that in on the side. I like that. So the tax office is purely cosmetic right now. But those two, you know, we'll have our main areas. We'll build out more of a complex around here. And some of the tree areas we'll protect, kind of wrap inside an outer gate area. We go commit that. That's going to open up our retinue options. We got 55 days. And we want to make sure that we get our burgage plots finished for the next couple of developments. Okay. That's good to go. So we should see February, that taken care of. And we see the roadway. Straighten that out just a smidge. And if I'm going to go, we'll go a U shape inside here. And probably have, if that's enough space, for an interior, couple of market stalls and stuff. Go back like halfway through. Yeah, that's plenty. Turn off snapping. Right in between that. Okay. One side. I'm just using that as a kind of guide. We go here, here, that corner, and turn off snapping as well. Perfect. So we can have a lot of the artisan buildings. And they'll all have the backyard extension plots. That'll be great. We'll have some storage behind, but enough space that we can have the town gates. We'll commit those, but I'm going to pause each of them just as placeholders now, since we do want to kind of build around there. We got our garrison tower. We got the manor here that will tie into that edge. Okay. And there we go. Gonna be a nice, beautiful looking area for sure. Just a little on the edge there. That'll be fine. Doesn't need to be perfect. The one other aspect is a well. Do we have any underground water options? Oof. Manor would normally want something like that. If it's off this direction, maybe. Just like kind of right at the edge. Just inside the fence, I think that would be okay. Baron or the Lord wouldn't be happy about how far apart that's spread, but we're good there. People, nobody living there yet, so good setup. We're at 36 of 36 now for our militia units. 46 people, which is great. Okay. I need to start assigning people for our marketplaces. Our storehouse capacity is limited. So we'll put one person on the storehouse. We'll make sure we get this region kind of built up. Yeah, the bloomery. No more space left for production. So that tells me we need to put a storehouse in here as well. Under Dornley being claimed. Oh, okay. That's going to leave us with Rolock. Just the salt deposit. That'll be tough. Will be tough. I'll probably want to send, once my manor is built, I'm going to send my retinue down here, and they will just manage bandits. Farming up any reputation I can gain. The Baron spending what he can to try and force us out. Okay. Any level 2s? We're not happy. We got put one person in the granary now as well. Supplies are doing okay. The food variety, the clothing, those are all problematic, but we'll keep an eye on it. These folks, yeah, kind of taking it casual. They need a well. We got a space right here for one. So that'll help manage them. We've got burgage plots constructed. Okay. Okay, the smithy is good to go. So as we get additional folks available, I'm gonna actually take you off of the bloomery and you into that one. So swapping them 1 to 1. Okay, our timber and our planks are limited. We have stable space for another ox, so I'm going to bring that in. That'll help with some of our industry. Bandit camp was sighted over here on the far side of Rolock. Fortunately, oh man, 6 days until the raiders arrive. We have enough treasury income that we should be able to manage this, though. Let's go ahead. I'm going to hire mercenaries. Verdal for the Battle Brothers. We're going to use them again. And that'll be pretty close. Kleinow for the rest. The Ravenous Vultures and the Huntsmen. So hopefully with the Battle Brothers, bring them in.
Your orders, my liege, my liege.
Okay.
Men,
And you're going to come right down here.
march.
You're gonna run. Okay. Good positive approval rating for everything.
Pick up the pace. Run faster. Move quickly.
5 available burgage plots. We're at 7 months of food, 5 months of fuel.
Faster. Quickly, sire.
Okay. The raiders are over here in Rolock as well. They're off this direction. How fortuitous.
Attack, my lord.
And we should be able to manage them, hopefully, with our Battle Brothers.
Kill them.
And just wiping them out. Down to 11 and broken. Let's go claim that bandit camp and okay, that's going to my treasury. 100%. And we're gonna head this way, try and take out those outlaws. Okay, we have the Woodcutter's Lodge on the far side that's ready to go. We have 1,000 reputation. So while we're chasing these guys down, let's go ahead. I'm gonna claim Rollock with influence and just lock the Baron out. We're not gonna get any more bandits, but the raiders we're chasing after, they're gonna be good, and we've got treasury generating pretty quickly. Okay. And I'm going to rally my militia here on the edge of town. Get them ready to go.
Forward! Yes, sire! Yes, sire! Advance!
Have you guys form up here. So maybe
Yes, sire!
a little further back.
March! My liege! Stick together, men! Men! Your order! Yes, sire! Advance!
And locking the Baron out of this combat will
Advance!
ensure that we get
Attack! March!
the maximum amount of reputation from this all.
Kill them! Them! Keep your
Okay, push forward. Oh, no. Yeah, we're going to push forward.
Push forward!
Okay, wonderful. 9 days left.
Yes, sire!
I think we just beat the Raiders, year one. We're going to go ahead and disband my folks. They have 8 days left on their contract. We take care of it.
Advance!
We're claiming Rohalok, and we'll just wait till about the last day and then disband those guys. If any bandits show up, we'll keep them around. Okay, claimed, and we can disband. Good job. We have 738 treasury. It's March. It might be a great opportunity to expand into the second region. We're going to hold off and see where my manor is at for construction. We see we're at about 15%, so we'll get that polished off. We see a couple of burgage plots over here. You need a well. Set one up right here, maybe? On the inside works. And you are going to be assigned to that Woodcutter's Lodge as our fuel at 5 months, food at 8 months. So, big priorities there. I want a double-sized plot here. We got one. That snaps okay. There's 3 plots right there. There are 2 doubles. Okay. I can go 3 here, and that would make a great group that would support our forestry area. And they're not too far away from the main city, so they'd be happy with a lot of the amenities we'll have there. I'm going to build a road, but not connecting all the way across. Okay. Bring this in to about right here, and then tuck it down. And hopefully we'll get 1 villager set up with a, yeah, keyhole plot just like that. We'll set that as the highest priority. So we have 5 available living spaces, 6 under construction, and yeah, things are looking good there. We'll have 1 family working that. Actually, if I put you as the unassigned family, that should help maybe construct a few things there quicker. And we see the manor going up. We'll have the gates come across this front line once we have everything built and our artisan plots in the way. We'll have storage in the back, or maybe on this side, that those artisan plots would take advantage of. So, hey, how else are we doing? We got iron slab, iron ore, plenty of that going along. So we could assign somebody to the smithy. Let's see, we got a warehouse worker unassigned. You're gonna work the smithy. And we're gonna start trading those. Okay. Tools. We'll export, and we want to keep a desired surplus of 10. It costs us a little bit of regional wealth to do that. Let's see, berries. We can export some vegetables without costing us too much. So, 9 months of food, 4 months of fuel. I want to bring you out of the Woodcutter's Lodge here. Actually, both of you. I'm going to set you up on here. Eventually come back and micromanage that a bit. 2 available living spaces, or 2 available families that are working on this construction. Okay. Excellent. Okay, the forager's hut. Pantry is full. Alright. Yeah. One of you guys, if we did want to have a granary over this way. Here, yeah, don't want to uproot too many trees. So in a natural area, I think that'll be great. Right about there. We could even do on the corner here, but oh, just killed some of the bigger trees I wanted. That's alright. That's alright. You guys have, let's see, one of the foragers will pull out, let them do construction over here. Got our logging camp. Woodcutter's Lodge that, yeah. Just as we manage all that, looking for tool exports as we start producing those. And leather we're done with, so we'll pull you out of the tannery as well. Get some of this construction done. Okay. Marketplaces, storehouse capacity is tapped. Plug a storehouse right here. Okay. Getting this manor done will be our top priority on that region. We have a couple people working the Woodcutter's Lodge here. We're going to put a forester's hut in as well while we got the extra people. And I'm going to put a charcoal kiln, which I realize we developed but never actually configured. That's going to go right on the edge here. A lot of trees. Bust it up, we'll put the charcoal kiln right there. On the edge, make things a little bit more accessible. And we would definitely have a storehouse helping support that. That storehouse will be devoted to firewood. If we keep running out of firewood, we're going to get a second charcoal kiln that will tie in there. Okay, 123 regional wealth. We see we got tools going like crazy, so let's get that set up. The commodities, tools, that is a trade route that we have to establish. But 6 export price each. We're going to start seeing that revenue crank right up. And what do we have? We have somebody on the saw pit. Hey. Should be working those pretty aggressively. Okay. The industry, I know a clay furnace. We're just cranking through planks right now. I think that's a limiter. %. Just let that build up. And eventually, yeah, wall in everything once we have the supplies. Keep along this road, but have the manor not too far off. I'm supporting the central area of the town. We're gonna have a tavern in some of these areas here, utilizing a lot of the tree cover around it. Then we'll build along the outside for some of that. No vegetable garden here. 4 months of fuel, 9 months of food. Set a couple of these as the priority. Here, this will get a vegetable garden as well. Wonderful. And I'll get rid of this guide road on the outside. Nice kind of natural looking setup. More burgage plots going. 98%, just about done with our manor. Let's watch as it gets done. Nice quiet little area here. Sunlight coming in through the side. Oh, they're trolling me. We got 1 stone still to be delivered. There we go. We got a retinue, we got the manor, we've got 1,000 influence. So let's take a look at what we're gonna do. I don't want to necessarily start taxing them right away. If we do some taxation, let's just call it 5%. It's gonna be a minor approval loss. We could go up to 8%, but I'd like to try and keep above 75 so we can grow at 2 per month. Food tithes, we're gonna stop exporting food. But the tithing we're going to charge here, we'll call that 5%, maybe 10%. Excess food every month is going to go to help generate influence. With the bandits no longer an option, we need influence to be able to press our claims against regions. And we want to be really careful about how we manage our treasury funds. So taxation at 5% to keep the happiness going here. We're going to open up that other region, Roalak, and try and really... Gonna have to fight back the Baron, and I think keeping at least 500 treasury available is gonna be important. So we have our manor constructed. It's June, almost July. So if we look here, kind of the middle of the summer, we'd have to get established very quickly in a new region, but I think it's something we could do. We have 6 available burgage plots. We're seeing things, we're a little spread out as far as our settlement goes. We've got some food production down here. That is being addressed with a little mini village. Right, we have hides with some limitation, some leather going. I think we need to get a couple more burgage plots upgraded But most of the fine artisans, they're gonna come in here, right? So we'll have kind of 2 rows backing each other, and rather than commit the resources here, I'm gonna demolish one, and I'm gonna set a field as kind of a placeholder. Oh, and you see that we've got Emmer over here as a kind of poorly planned on my part, but we'll put one field on one side. Now we'll demolish this, and that way we've got everything we need for the next set of artisan plots. They're going to go in here. We'll have a dedicated marketplace just by the well, I think. We'll have some storehouses that will be upgraded to the max. And yeah, continuing this road off this way. Just like that. And that should be a nice little, kind of keep this area open if we wanted to do future development, or just have an area where we're kind of protecting some of the wild spaces. You know, a park might be great. Give some people some reasons to walk around. And of course, putting some hitching posts. Overall, right, we got our charcoal kiln that's being worked on. We've got a woodcutter's lodge. We got a forester's hut. Over this side, I'll probably do another logging camp. We got space there and a saw pit. We'll commit that. Okay, and a forester's hut. We'll get and just be able to really expand like crazy right now. Okay, there's no farmhouse to work those fields. That's fine. That's gonna be fine. So give these folks an opportunity. We'll do firewood, we'll do logging. We will have foresters' huts that go out and make sure this is all properly planted. We got 5 available people right now, and we can work on ramping up our production. With those 5 available people, though, storehouse capacity is a concern. I'm gonna bring in here. Just plug this away. I don't want planks, I don't want stone. I will do roof tiles. Don't do flax. None of this. Wooden parts, maybe. Charcoal, no. Iron ore, yes. Iron slab. Clay. Nothing on the dyes. And then iron parts is fine. We're going to do tools. Don't do cloaks, shoes, clothes, or candles. And then all of our military stuff will be stored here. So turning those off means that it'll be focused on just the key resources we want to support in this area. Obviously, our smithy's going crazy. Our mining pit is going to be... we'll expand those operations before too long. We got our bloomeries going, so enough iron ore to keep us supplied. Bloomeries are good. We got the storehouse set. Capacity on each. Food, fuel, clothing. Those are all kind of mid-range. But we'll start developing on the center line here and working on expanding out our industry back this way. That'll be great for episode 2. So to start, we have our manor. We've got our church. We're at a 78% positive approval rating, but there's not enough food variety at the marketplace. Part of that is driven by a lack of meat. We're going to address that coming up next. We also want to make sure we're no longer exporting our food. We'll keep every bit we've got. We will have some orchards we'll bring in, and I think it would be a great area behind this, the trading post. We have a couple of homes set up, and then just orchard areas in this keyhole plot configuration. Taking up a lot of that available space that yeah, we'll be maximizing. Kind of spreading out in 3 different regional configurations. We got food production, we'll have timber production, got industry, and then we got the manor, so administrative. And yeah, we'll expand things. I did notice that stonecutter camp no longer having any stone out there, so we'll go deassign that person. And then the rest of the assignments, yeah, that's gonna be, we'll put somebody else in the smithy. We want to make sure we hire in a horse to expand our livestock. And with 299 regional wealth, we're going to have some treasury to build. I think we should be in great shape. Moving on to next episode, we'll continue development in Wildfeld, and we will expand into Rollock. We may do that at the beginning of the episode, get our first 5 families established, set them up, see where we're going to put them. We got berries, we've got the wild animals. That's actually pretty great configuration over here for food production. The way the areas are pretty close together, but not too crazy. We can get some food going right off the bat. We got clay, salt's way over here, so don't need to worry too much about that on the early game. And look at that, nice little cliffside that we could reserve for a manor. We have a couple other options, of course, bordering the river, a little small cliffside, and a nice bridge. Maybe we would have a choke point for the bridge. So, with that, Wildfeld has been settled. We're doing really well on our approval ratings, mostly because we have not frivolously upgraded our burgage plots. But one thing I know we're going to need to work on is our production for timber and planks. We're going through those like gangbusters. And yeah, we have enough. We can get a second spear militia, splitting our forces a little bit. We'll go commit that right now, and then as we kind of expand with our spears and planks, it'll be all right. With that, I will catch you guys all in the next episode. Thanks for watching.